Hello everybody, this is Nursky and what is up? Because I got some games from MLG Anaheim for you. So first off, spawning as the red Protoss in this matchup is going to be none other than Slayer's Alicia. His opponent for this match, representing Team Millennium out of France, had an awesome run at MLG Anaheim, is going to be ToD. This is going to be on the map dual site, and I could not be more excited to have gotten a couple of these games. MLG not releasing the replays. Wasn't expecting to get a whole lot of these replays, but does not stop the players who have access to the replays from posting them when they log onto their accounts in game. So a couple of the players doing us all a huge favor and posting their replays up so we could download them. So we're going to get a chance to see a couple of these games that were really good games that we otherwise wouldn't have gotten to see, so pretty sweet stuff. If you haven't seen MLG's dual site before, obviously MLG has done the standard, add the supply depot to the bottom of the ramp, mostly to prevent Terran players from walling off on the low ground. MLG deciding that was too much of an advantage for Terran players as far as denying scouting goes. You see both players getting up their first gateway. Neither player has taken gas as of just yet. We'll be spawning in this 3 o'clock and approximately 12 o'clock positions. Dual site's always been, oh actually this is not dual site, I apologize, this is test bug. So their game's going to be on test bug. So my apologies for calling this dual site. Right away saw the goofy map architecture and I was like, oh this is dual, no, test bug, test bug, test bug. So anyways, the player is going to be getting their builds underway. We do see that ToD is scouting out, going to scout the wrong location first. Surprisingly enough, Alicia is not going to actually even be scouting ToD out in the early stages of this game. Actually just kind of going about his build. So apparently whatever Alicia has in store, he does feel that not scouting his opponent won't really affect what he's doing in any way, shape, or form. ToD, on the other hand, now going to get into the base of Alicia, find out where he's at, get a good look at everything that Alicia is up to, which will be pretty much nothing at this point in time. Do see the first Zealot on the way. You can see ToD as well actually opting to skip the initial first Zealot and taking a second gas. So ToD's going to be diverting now from the standard opening that typically would lead to just straight 4-gate. And stealing Slayer Alicia's gas. A very unusual play here coming out of ToD. So you do definitely almost never see a Protoss stealing another Protoss player's gas. That will limit a few of the options for Alicia in the early going. We'll have to see how Alicia reacts to this. I don't know if he's dealt with people stealing his gas all that often. We do now see Alicia going to just briefly poke into the base of ToD and then back out. So mostly just want location information. So that does make me think, and yes, that is going to be the case. Slayer's Alicia is going to be going for your standard 4 warp gate opening. Not surprising at all, considering the late scout of Slayer's Alicia, and the fact that once he found ToD's base, didn't even bother to try and get inside the base, just immediately backed on out, because he wants to try and hide a pylon, and there indeed we do see him hiding a pylon, but ToD actually will spot the pylon, starts focusing it down with the Stalker. Great spotting by ToD, preventing that pylon from allowing Slayer's Alicia to warp in any units at the front, and now ToD's actually going to just be walling in his front with a couple of gateways and a pylon. Now this will prevent Alicia from getting into his base, at least for a time. Now see a great force field going down, but right now we do see Alicia trying to work on this pylon if he can. Does have spines at high growth that Zealot, but the Zealot gets cleaned up, and now we see ToD trying to work down this forward pylon of Alicia. Alicia does still have this other pylon over here at the back end of ToD's base. It's going to be all on Slayer's Alicia to try and get a good position and break ToD off here. Now we even see ToD's probe trying to get in on the action and try and take out the Stalker. But no, Slayer's Alicia is going to get 4 Zealots up into the base, trying to surround that Stalker. Stalker will get away momentarily, going to have to retreat back to the bottom end of his base. Now being forced to pull some probes. We look at that income tab really quick. We do see right now that Slayer's Alicia is now ahead 20 to 18. ToD now warping a couple of more units, going with just 3 warp gates initially here, trying to hold off this 4 warp gate assault by Slayer's Alicia. Slayer's Alicia going to be trying to work on this 1 forward pylon. But ToD does have a secondary pylon, but once Slayer's Alicia can take this down, ToD will be left with just 1 pylon remaining. Now we do see ToD pulling a lot more probes once again and moving forward, seeing if he can take out the force of Slayer's Alicia. Slayer's Alicia is now backing up. Good force field goes down. Will prevent those Stalkers from getting back into the main base, at least for a time, but they are still up far enough that is going to allow him to spot, sending in more Zealots up to the top of the base. ToD trying to focus those down without taking too much damage on these Stalkers. but as you can see, the Stalkers have taken some damage. But right now, Slayers Alicia has 4 Stalkers taking a little bit of damage. Now ToD's going to be trying to work down these pylons. If he can get these pylons off the front of his base, it will stop Slayers Alicia from warping in more units. But we do see a couple more Zealots getting warped in now. And they do take out the Sentry, which is huge, but another Sentry getting warped in by ToD. Do not know where he's going to place down force field. Does manage to cut off one of the Stalkers from the rest of the forces. That will give ToD a momentary advantage in Stalker count. Does manage to take out one of the Stalkers. Now we'll take out the Zealot. Moving forward once again is Alicia, trying to break ToD if he can here. Backing up now is going to be ToD, trying to micro the best that he can. Here comes our Stalker, and now ToD does have slightly superior forces. Slayers Alicia, we'll have to wait and see if he can actually clean this up. Look at the income tab once again. It's now 19 to 19 Harvesters, so both players both equal as far as Harvester count is concerned. And right now, Slayers Alicia's 4 warp gate is running out of steam. Is not able to warp in 4 units at a time, where you see him just warping in 1 or 2 units at a time. As ToD might actually be able to hold this off, as he obviously can support these 3 warp gates almost continuously. Now just 1 Stalker remains. Take that out. There is the last Zealot. And ToD will amazingly hold this push. And now he's going to be working on focusing down these pylons so that Slayers Alicia cannot warp in any more units. Now we see back in the base, Slayers Alicia has warped in a couple of units in his main. We'll be getting a couple of sentries to be able to defend any counterattack type of tactics from ToD and trying to get this assimilator down. We do see this assimilator did spot one of the warp gates. So interesting play by ToD, stealing that gas. Slayers Alicia, though, looked like he's planning on pretty much going for warp gate the entire time. So I don't think it really affected his build whatsoever. Now a robotics facility going down for ToD. So the question is, will ToD be able to maybe take game 1 off of Slayers Alicia? Momentarily supply block, but he will have that secondary pylon coming up here. Is going to need another pylon pretty soon, though, so here he goes. Going to be plopping down another pylon over here. And now ToD's going to be moving out forward, going to be trying to take control of this forward Salmaga tower so he can have spotting of any units coming his way. 1 single Stalker for Slayers Alicia moving forward, but right now ToD does have a lead by 9 supply over Slayers Alicia. And we do look in the base of Slayers Alicia in just a moment here. We're going to watch these Stalkers kind of duke it out for a minute. You see that Slayers Alicia just going to back that. But in the base of Slayers Alicia, we actually have a Twilight Council coming down now. Does still have those 4 warp gates, has begun producing probes once again up to 23 Harvesters now. So it is looking like to me that Slayers Alicia's plan here might be to probe up a little bit, get out some probes, and yes, indeed, go for a 4-gate Blink Stalker play once he can probe up a little bit so he can actually support these 4 warp gates a little bit better. So it'll be very interesting to see how this actually pans out for Slayers Alicia, considering the fact that ToD has put down the robotics bay and is adding a 4 warp gate, but it looks like he's actually going to be going Blink Stalkers here with the Twilight Council. It's going to be 4-gate Blink Stalker versus 4-gate Blink Stalker. ToD will have the addition of an Observer that he will be able to use in order to spot up to the high ground of Alicia's base, and ToD with a 10 supply lead. Look at the income tab. You can see ToD at 29 Harvesters to 24 of Slayers Alicia. So a slight advantage for ToD. Look at the unit counting station, though. We do see ToD even ahead once again. 7 Stalkers, 3 Zealots, and a Sentry to just the 6 Stalkers of Alicia. But Alicia is starting to catch up a little bit, and now planting down a forward pylon once again is Slayers Alicia. So ToD, if he can manage this right, should actually be able to take this out. But Slayers Alicia going to be moving up forward over here to the ramp, using that blink to escape from danger. Did have a force field go down on the ramp, trying to prevent Slayers Alicia from blinking up. The question is, will ToD or Alicia end up taking this? ToD still at the slight advantage in the Stalker count at this time. So if he can manage this properly, he could potentially do a lot of damage to Slayers Alicia. We now see Slayers Alicia throwing down some force fields, trying to choke off a lot of the Stalkers. ToD right now does have the blink, but opting not to use it, and this could be a huge mistake by ToD. Instead of deciding to use it in a defensive manner, trying to blink back the weakened Stalkers as he tries to take out Slayers Alicia's forces, and it looks like that might actually be the case. Now ToD blinking down the low ground, and he does have the advantage now moving forward. Now going to be backing up, needs to keep up with his macro though, and leaving a couple Stalkers behind, but blinks them all back into his base. So ToD in a defensive position right now, but right now holding firm. If you look at the unit count station, ToD still up 12 Stalkers to the 10 of Slayers Alicia. Now going to be moving forward once again is Slayers Alicia, trying to press this attack, seeing if he can get the better with the micro against ToD's blink Stalkers. And Slayers Alicia going to be forced to retreat once again. Some of those Stalkers extremely low on shields, taking a lot of damage. ToD warping in a single Zealot now. Slayers Alicia warping in more units. Unit counting station once again. ToD still up by 2 Stalkers, trying to take out the Stalkers of Slayers Alicia. 58 supply to 50 supply, and Slayer's Alicia is going to be forced to back up at least for a moment once again. We do see over here in his base, nothing new coming down tech-wise just yet, so just trying to press with these Blink Stalkers still is Slayer's Alicia, tied with a couple of pylons just out in random places in the map. Could potentially warp with some Stalkers and try and counter, but right now trying to defend the front of his base. Unit County Station 17 to 15, so ToD's still able to keep the advantage for now, but will he be able to do it against Slayer's Alicia Stalkers? Blinking back the weakened Stalkers as ToD. Slayer's Alicia is doing the same as his Blink War going back and forth between these players. Unit County Station once again 16 to 13, ToD starting to get the upper hand. And right now, Slayer's Alicia forced to back up once again, but Slayer's Alicia is absolutely relentless with this Blink Stalker push, still pushing in Blink Stalkers. Look at the income tab. We do see ToD does have the superior income still. Production tab, nothing new in production. Just these players going back and forth with these Blink Stalkers. Unit Counting Station again, 3 at Stalker advantage for ToD, and Slayer's Alicia might have actually finally given up on this attack. Looks like he's going to be retreating now back to his base, and ToD right now ahead 21 to just 15 Stalkers of Slayer's Alicia, now producing some Zealots. ToD is going to move out over here to his natural expansion. It's going to be very interesting to see how this game actually pans out. ToD doing a very good job up against the Korean of Alicia, but still managing the Frenchman to keep up with Alicia blink for blink, and even managing to outblink him in some cases and get ahead. Now going to be taking out that forward pawn that will momentarily actually supply block Slayer's Alicia. So he will be supply blocked for just a moment while he has to get down a new pylon. You see that new pylon in place going down right now. Income-wise, though, we do see that ToD is still in the advantage, 29 to the 19 of Slayer's Alicia. Trying to take out some of ToD's pylons. Will momentarily supply block ToD now, but 88 supply to 55 supply. Do not know Slayer's Alicia is going to come back from this game. And now here we go. Big battle in the center of the map. And ToD's going to actually back up now, but here comes Slayer's Alicia once again. ToD now going to be moving forward. Can he outblink Slayer's Alicia once again? He does have the superior unit count, as you do see 24 to just 16 Stalkers. Slayer's Alicia back and forth with ToD now. ToD going to be trying to press the advantage once again, and back and forth these players go. Who is going to come out on top right now? ToD does have the advantage. Slayer's Alicia trying to take it back if he can. ToD trying to move pylons forward to try and get a better advantage over Slayer's Alicia. Now here we go. Blink Stalker Wars once again. Slayer's Alicia's units banged up pretty well. So are ToD's. But ToD with very good Blink Stalker micro. Blinking those Stalkers back and forth. Unit Counting Station, guys. We do see 23 to 9. Blinking forward now, taking out the rest of the Stalkers of Slayer's Alicia, and ToD has won. GG by Slayer's Alicia. ToD takes game number 1. Excellent job by ToD. Oh my god, what a micro fest by both players, but ToD coming out on top, had the superior economy, held in the early stages of the game, and then used that to his advantage in the later stages of the game, going for that very interesting gas steal in the early stages of the game. So that's going to be it for game number 1, guys. I'm going to be coming back to you guys with game number 2 in just a moment, so check that out. Subscribe to Mods Online YouTube. Peace easy, guys. See you at the next cast.